Welcome to Southern California, the Fullerton Regional on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. Our second game and last one of the night. The St. Louis University Billikens in the tournament for the first time in 40 years, taking on Cal State Fullerton, the Titans, winners of 4 national championships. Our first game earlier tonight was won by Fresno State 9-8, and what a weird game that was, Darnell.
Yes, it was, and San Diego lost on a first and third pickoff to a tough Fresno State team, so now San Diego's got to come through the other bracket, but it can be done.
St. Louis University Billikens have John Geyer in center field leading off. Watching the 3-hole, Johnny Sweeney. Not only does he lead the team in 2-base hits, but he comes in with a 17-game hitting streak. They'll face a tough one on the mound for Cal State Fullerton. Right-hander Lauren Gagne will take the hill, and Cal State Fullerton getting ready to take the field. Along with Darnell Coles, I am Mark Neely. This Fullerton team, the #1 seed, St. Louis U, the #4 seed, and earlier it was the 2 seed Fresno State beating the 3 seed San Diego by a score of 9-8. And there is Lauren Gagne, the junior from Santa Cruz, California. What can we look from him tonight?
Well, the thing about him is that he always has a bump in the road, and head coach George Horton said he always seems to pitch out of it, but he's generally 86 to 93. He's got a 3-quarter delivery, fastball, slider, curveball change. His best pitch is his curveball. It's also set up by his fastball. He loves to pitch in, and he loves to get you out with that breaking ball in the dirt.
17th start of the season for Gagne. Bunch of wins. He has a dozen so far on the year, and that 2.67 ERA really indicative of how good this Fullerton staff is.
Yeah, and on top of that, they've got 3 starters that have 11 or more wins, and they play a stellar brand of defense also. You know, the ball hit anywhere on that infield, it's going to be caught. You know, head coach George Horton says that he's got the best double play combination in the country, and we'll get a chance to see them tonight.
Take a look at that defense for Fullerton. A double play combination up the middle has Davis and Turner, but watch, don't forget about Evan MacArthur over at third base. Only 5 errors so far on the season. Dorn, Tripp, and Clark in the outfield for Cal State Fullerton. George Horton, the head coach for Cal State Fullerton in his 10th season, the 52-year-old who took over from Augie Garrido in 1996 after being an associate head coach to Augie here. Had the opportunity to face Garrido a couple of years ago in the College World Series, and what do you know, George Horton and the Titans beat their old guy, winning the 2004 national title. Bob Hughes, his 18th season as the head coach at St. Louis University. The second winning season for St. Louis U under Bob Hughes. 1996, they were 25-24, which was their first winning season in 19 years. But Darnell, don't sleep on St. Louis U here. I mean, we'll visit with their starting pitcher Ryan Bird a little bit later. If they get some solid pitching, St. Louis U can be right in this game.
Oh, they're a very confident bunch. We talked to them before the game yesterday, and they're excited about being here. You know, they feel like they have a chance. They know that Cal State Fullerton is one of the national powers, but anything can happen, and they feel like they're the team to knock them off that perch.
St. Louis U out of the Atlantic 10, their first year in the A-10 after being in Conference USA. We're ready to go from Fullerton. John Geyer, the center fielder, leading off. And the first pitch is low from Gagne for ball 1. Geyer also 6 steals and 7 attempts on the season. Gagne hits the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch from Gagne. Towards third, it is foul. This Fullerton staff is a very impressive one. They're deep. Besides having Gagne, they've got some impressive arms, and pitching has really been the strength of their team. At least one of the many strengths of their team. 1-2 to Geyer leading off. He holds up and takes outside.
And like you talked about, one of the many strengths of their team. their closer, Vinny Pestano, has had elbow problems all year, so he's not going to pitch in this regional. And they would even be more devastating as far as pitching is concerned.
That's low, and it's a full count. And Pestano, who, with the elbow problem, unlikely to pitch in this NCAA regional. Early in May, mid-May, game against USC, heard a pop in his elbow, and he's been on the shelf since. 3-2 pitch. Geyer hangs in there. Cal State Fullerton, the host team. This is the 6th regional they have hosted. Three-two pitch again, and another foul by Geyer. This is the 4th consecutive year that Fullerton has hosted a regional. They've hosted 4 super regionals as well. The 8th pitch of the at-bat in a fly ball right field. Does Clark see it? He does not, and at the last moment picked it up and made the catch. Jared Clark lost that ball in the twilight. Brandon Tripp came running over, but Clark was able to pick it up at the last moment. There's that impressive ERA for the Titans that leads the NCAA at 2.66. On the right side of that, you'll see what they've done offensively, hitting 35 home runs. Billikens have hit 22 as a team, and a team ERA right at 4 on the year. Ryan Crespi, the right fielder. 294 average on the year. The kid that they call Jersey, since he is from Sparta, New Jersey. He played his season at Sussex County Community College. Also played a little bit of a year at 2004 with St. John's. Redmond Red Storm now out in Manhattan. One out, bases empty in the SLU first inning. We're past him there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think he's got some decent velocity.
Yes, he does. That was an 87-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner with movement.
He has Crespi at 1-2. Strike 3 call, borderline pitch on the outside corner, and Gagne picks up his first strikeout.
If a pitcher can show you that he can stay out there, generally an umpire is going to give you that pitch. If he's all over the place and he throws a pitch out there and kind of surprises an umpire, you're not going to get that pitch. But if you can consistently stay out there, then you get that pitch more than not.
Johnny Sweeney rips it foul past first. That's going to be a strike all night. It's going to be a good night for the pitchers.
That's for sure.
Johnny Sweeney with a 17-game hitting streak coming in. He's from the Kansas City area, Casey suburb of Overland Park, Kansas. Went to high school at Rockhurst. He's on the Missouri side. No balls, 2 strikes.
Nice changeup there. Seeing a good array of pitches, a fastball, a curveball, and that nasty changeup right there.
Down the right field side, but it's hooking foul. Oh, 2 count. Bases empty, 2 outs in the St. Louis University first inning. Johnny Sweeney with 16 doubles, leading SLU, the 3rd most in school history in a single season. One-two pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Gagne, who sets the Billikens down in order. Now, St. Louis University in St. Louis, Missouri, their first year in the Atlantic 10. And it's their 3rd NCAA tournament appearance, their first since 1966. They appeared in the College World Series in 1965. And a Billiken, by the way, is a symbol of good luck. A mythical figure that back in the early 1900s thought to bring good luck. And it was adopted as the mascot for St. Louis University. St. Louis U, founded in 1818 and a school of just under 12,000 students. Of course, St. Louis, one of the great baseball towns in the country, home of 9 World Series championships with their St. Louis Cardinals. Cal State Fullerton Titans have red Justin Turner at the top of the order. And batting in the 2-hole, Blake Davis, the team's leading hitter, with that .365 batting mark. Gorn in the cleanup spot. And Curtis catching, rounds it out, batting 9th. Here's right-hander Ryan Bird out of Potomac, Illinois, which is near Champaign-Urbana. Very impressed with what we've seen from Ryan Bird.
And as well we should be. He's generally 86 to 93. He's got a 3-quarter delivery. His best pitch is his curveball, fastball, slider, change. Has no fear. Gets ahead with his fastball. Gets you out with his curveball. He's also a 2006 academic All-American.
His 118 and a third innings pitch is a single-season St. Louis University school record. Defense for the Billikens behind Ryan Bird. John Geyer in center field out of DeSmet High School in West St. Louis County, flanked by Sweeney in left and Crespi in right field. Moore and Marlowe up the middle, with Rodriguez and Landy on the corners. Musselman, we like this kid. Bill Musselman, the catcher, behind the plate. Justin Turner to lead off the Fullerton first inning. His nickname is Red. He's from Bellflower, California. He went to Mayfair High School in Lakewood. First pitch to Turner is inside for ball 1. Strike call, 1-1. One pitch, chopped foul past third base. Justin Turner leading off the Fullerton first inning. The 1-2 pitch hit down the right field side, slicing near the line, and goes foul. 4 homers on the year for Turner. He made a bid for one to the opposite field.
And that's not his game, even though that ball did almost go out of the ballpark. He's generally a line drive hitter, tries to stay up the middle, doesn't try and do too much. His job is to get on base, create havoc on the bases, score runs, so the middle of that lineup can drive him in.
Turner this year the co-player of the year in the Big West. Evan Longoria of Long Beach State shared that honor with him. Another foul back, and it stays a ball and 2 strikes. St. Louis University win in order in their half of the first. The second and final game of the night from here at the Fullerton Regional. Time is asked for at home plate. Past the pitcher, up the middle. Marlowe off balance, close, got him at first. Gilbert Marlowe made that throw off balance on his right leg, but made it strong enough to get Turner, who can run very well.
He had to. That was the only way he was going to get him, is to get it and get rid of it as quickly as he could. Little breaking ball, gets a little bit out in front. This is a tremendous play. He just gets it, gets rid of it. Anything short of that, he'd have been safe.
Bang bang at first. Replay shows they got him. Here's Blake Davis, the shortstop. Nice play by Marlowe. Gilbert Marlowe at second base for St. Louis University. Breaking ball, strike. Blake Davis went to Fountain Valley High School. A little bit low from Ryan Bird. 2 balls and a strike.
He's also played with Justin Turner, either on the team or beside him, for the last 12 years.
Center field. Geyer on the run, able to catch up to him. 2 outs. With 2 down.
Number 9, Brett Hill.
And Fullerton coming up, first baseman Brett Pill. Good rip and a miss. Strike 1 on Pill. A business management major. A check swing and a ball down and away. They ask for the appeal. And the first base umpire, Keith Bailey, says he went around. Another peek at this one. Did he hold up?
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Good call. The 0-2. Off the outside corner. Ryan Bird.
Hey, let's go, Birdie.
1-2 pitch. That evens the count up. Two outs, nobody on in the Cal State Fullerton first inning. Bird shakes off a couple of signs. Now he sends in the 2-2. Thought he had him struck out there. A little low, and it's a full count.
And the nice part about Ryan Bird at this stage of the game is that he's keeping the ball down. In a ballpark like this, the ball flies, so you got to keep the ball down.
And he walks Pill. It gets away. Musselman has to chase it. A 2-out walk to Brett Pill. Bird wants to talk to Musselman. Ryan Bird went to Armstrong High School near Potomac, Illinois. Threw 5 no-hitters in high school. Came to St. Louis U as a freshman. Led the team with a 4.86 ERA. And as a sophomore, led the team with a 3.49 ERA. Now this year has lowered that all the way down to 2.59. His head coach, Bob Hughes, compares him to Roy Oswalt because of the stature. They're very similar in size, but that's quite a comparison. Certainly for St. Louis University, Ryan Bird is there, Roy Oswalt.
Yes, he is.
Danny Dorn, the left fielder.
And he's thrown 118 in the third innings and only given up 115 hits. 38 base on balls, so he's in the strike zone. He gets ahead of hitters.
Line past the second baseman Marlowe and into right center. Pill will hold up at second as Crespi makes his throw to third base. And Fullerton has 2 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Our first hit of the game. Pill advances to second. On a Dorn base hit.
Hey, you're okay, Turk.
DH David Cooper with 276 average. Freshman out of Stockton, California. Bird gets ahead with strike one. Bird retired the first two in the inning, but walked Pill. Dorn with a base hit. The 0-1. A high strike to Cooper. 0-2. First strikeout for Ryan Bird. Fullerton a hit, but they strand two. And at the end of an inning, Slew and Fullerton are scoreless. St. Louis U and Cal State Fullerton no score into the top of the second inning. George Horton, head coach for Fullerton, his team hosting this NCAA regional. Look at the seeds. Clemson is the #1 national seed, followed by Rice, Texas, Bama, and then Fullerton coming into this NCAA tournament as the 5 seed. How about #6 Nebraska getting beat today in their first round game? Georgia, Georgia Tech round out the top 8. And I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but pretty close. If any one of those 8, or all the 8 win this weekend and move on, they would have the chance to host that super regional next weekend. Cal State Fullerton has hosted 4 super regionals just since 2001. I think they've hosted a super regional each of the last 3 years. Lost to Arizona State here in the super regional in 2005, dropping the third and deciding game.
And they've got a bitter taste in their mouth. They want to get back to the College World Series. The only way to do that is to win this regional and then move on to super regionals and win that. But they have a bitter taste of losing last year to Arizona State.
Cal State Fullerton, as a result of not making it out of their own super regional a year ago, did not have an opportunity to defend their title in Omaha after winning the national championship in 2004. So we go into the St. Louis U, top of the second. We welcome those of you now watching on ESPN2. Watching Tennessee Northwestern from Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. We're on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. The Fullerton Regional, St. Louis University and Cal State Fullerton no score to the top of the second. St. Louis U making their first NCAA tournament appearance in 40 years. And Cal State Fullerton owners of 4 national championships. The 1 and 4 seeds here in the Fullerton Regional. Greg Rogers, the DH for the Billikens, fouls it off the catcher Curtis. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark Neely along with Darnell Coles. Earlier tonight, the first game here in Fullerton, Fresno State beat San Diego 9-8. One-two from Lauren Gagne. That rides inside to Rogers. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Gagne is using both sides of the plate. Fastball in, breaking ball away.
Two pitch. A check swing by Rogers. They asked for the appeal. Third base umpire Scott Irby says no swing. And Rogers is still alive with a full count. Another look at it.
And he did not go. Another nice call by the third base umpire.
Rogers leading off the Slew second. The 3-2 pitch. He rips to right field, but there's Jared Clark to make the catch. 1 out. Again, here in the Fullerton Regional earlier, Fresno State hanging on for a 9-8 win over San Diego. And what a strange ending to that game. With the score 9-8, San Diego had runners at first and third, 2 outs. And the old step to third, throw to first move actually worked for Fresno State, and San Diego had a runner picked off at first to end the game in that fashion. Very unusual. So Fresno State's on the winner's bracket side here at Fullerton, waiting the winner of this game tomorrow. Bill Musselman, the catcher for St. Louis University, has really developed into their team leader. Bumped his average all the way up near 350 this year. Count of a ball and a strike. Musselman hit 252 last year as a sophomore, so he's upped his average about 100 points. Does everything you ask a catcher to do, Darnell.
Yes, he does. He struggled as a freshman, struggled as a sophomore, and found it as a junior. You talk to head coach Bob Hughes, and he talks about how he's found a plan and found a newfound knowledge of what he wants to do at the plate. And it's kind of carried over to his catching. Now he's the team leader. He takes control of the defense, calls some of the pitches, so he does a fine job behind the plate.
He looks at a strike. The count levels at 2-2. St. Louis University won the Atlantic 10 tournament up in the Bronx. They get themselves into the NCAA tournament for the first time in 40 years. Fouled away right side. St. Louis U was finishing their regular season in Ohio, so they bust to Ohio, bust all the way to New York for the A-10 tournament. Won the A-10 tournament and had to bust all the way back to St. Louis. And on their way back to St. Louis, stopped in Ohio to watch the selection show to find out that they were coming here to Fullerton. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Curtis. A strikeout is the third of the game for Lauren Gagne.
Well, after all that, just tell me that they didn't bust to California.
They did not bust out here to California.
They flew.
Well, Cal State Fullerton, the Big West champion. Fresno State won the Western Athletic Conference. San Diego, an at-large bid, third in the West Coast Conference, and then St. Louis U in their first year in the Atlantic 10. Winning the A-10 tournament championship and getting an automatic bid. And that's how the four teams line up here in the Fullerton Regional. Little cue ball hit by Gilbert Marlowe to first. Pill will take it to the bag, and St. Louis U goes down in order. Lauren Gagne will set down the first 6 St. Louis U batters. Clark, Tripp, and MacArthur coming up for Fullerton. No score heading into the bottom of the second inning here in Fullerton. And the NCAA baseball regionals begin on ESPNU tomorrow with 2 games. First at noon Eastern, North Carolina State takes on Texas Arlington in the first game. And then at 4 Eastern, Stanford takes on Texas. The NCAA baseball regionals on ESPNU tomorrow. Join Dave Ryan and Kyle Peterson for the call. If you'd like more information, log on to ESPN.com.
By a score of 5-3, Oregon State.
Big West champs once again for Cal State Fullerton. Playing on their home field. Scoreless into the bottom of the second inning. Jared Clark, the right fielder, leads off. Bird misses upstairs, ball 1. Bird worked around a little bit of 2-out trouble in the first inning. He hits the outside corner, a ball and a strike. Jared Clark, who his teammates started calling J-Poss for Possum at one point. Now they just call him Poss. It's funny how nicknames evolve from one to another. And if he took off his helmet, you'd know why they call him Possum. Particular hairdo that he sports. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jared Clark has said the person he would like to meet most is Harold Reynolds in Omaha. So it's a bit conditional.
That is a bit conditional.
Fouled back, which I'm sure he's meaning he'd like to meet Harold there for the College World Series. Not that meeting Harold anywhere wouldn't be a nice thing.
That is true.
You played with Harold for how long?
I played with Harold for 10 years.
Swing and a miss, and that strikeout, the second for Ryan Berg. No pun intended here. Fair to say that tonight St. Louis U is going to go as far as Bird can carry them. Brandon Tripp, the center fielder, with one out. Tripp, a first-team All-Big West selection. Right down the heart of the plate, Bird. Throws strike one. Tripp has an interesting superstition. He has to eat a Snickers bar during a game. He's in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes.
So he's got to eat it during the game, not before the game?
Well, I thought it was before, and then I learned later he actually eats it during the game.
Some point in time during the game.
His timeout asked for by the hitter. Well, if he makes the big leagues, there's a promotional deal waiting to be signed.
Oh, make no mistake about it. He can make some money off that one.
0-2 is in the dirt. He checks his swing. Ryan Bird, the pitcher for St. Louis University, would really like nothing better than be playing professional baseball once his season ends here. He has to get drafted. He's eligible for the draft at junior. A chance for him to showcase himself in his Fullerton Regional. A 1-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. Well, Bird has been in the strike zone now 13 of his last 15 pitches. That's being around the plate.
And that's also a great sign, considering this Cal State Fullerton batting order is very patient. They don't try and do too much. They only take what the pitcher gives them.
A Tripp out looking. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Ryan Bird. 2 outs in the inning.
He just continues to pound the strike zone. He's got you set up for a fastball in the outside corner after pounding you in with fastballs and breaking balls indoors. So nice pitch on his part. But again, with pounding the strike zone, he's done a fine job of keeping his team in the ball game early.
Strike one. Yes, the sun has gone down here, which is a good thing. It was rather warm during the first game. Here in Fullerton, a temperature in the low 90s today. Going up after one, MacArthur in the hole 0-2 as Bird hits 88 miles per hour. Bird's 0-2. To third. Rodriguez deep. Long throw. Got it. Couple of strikeouts in the inning. And down goes Fullerton in order. We've played 2. No score. Pretty close to a full house. We're on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. No score between St. Louis University and Fullerton into the top of the 3rd inning. And so far, Darnell, Ryan Bird and St. Louis U have shown that they belong.
Yes, they have. And anytime you're the number 4 seed, and again, you should be a little nervous going against a national power like Cal State Fullerton, but they have not been nerved or unnerved in any way. They've came out and answered the bell, and they've just got to continue to do that because, again, when you're playing against a high-powered offense like this Cal State Fullerton team, you cannot make mistakes, and so far, Mr. Bird has done a great job.
Each starting pitcher with 3 strikeouts so far. For Gagne, he struck out Crespi outside corner. Got Sweeney swinging, and then Musselman with 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. He's retired all 6 St. Louis University hitters.
And those 3 pitches you saw there were a breaking ball, a fastball, and a changeup. And all 3 of his pitches are his best pitches. When he's got all 3 working, he's pretty well unhittable.
Tim Landy fouls it out of play left side. Landy went to DeSmet High School in St. Louis County. Checks his swing. It's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Landy has actually already graduated with a marketing degree. He hopes to put it to work in sports marketing. Landy pops it up. Pitcher bails out of there, and there's the third baseman MacArthur making the catch on the mound. 1 out.
Third baseman batting eighth, number 9,
B.J. Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the third baseman. First pitch strike. One out, nobody on in the SLU third inning. No score here in Fullerton. And that's to the alley in left center field. Doran on the run is able to move over and make the catch. One of the better hit balls by the Billikens so far tonight. And Rodriguez lines to Doran. So 8 up, 8 down so far against Fullerton's Lauren Gagne. Gagne from Santa Cruz, California. Here's shortstop Ziggy Moore, a freshman who has an older brother on this St. Louis University team.
Casey.
The Moore brothers, Casey and Ziggy, from Lake St. Louis. Out of Wentzville Holt High School. No balls, 2 strikes. Gagne's 0-2. 4th strikeout. He gets Moore looking. Just an 8-pitch inning. Blake Davis due up second in the inning. Due up third in the inning. We'll hear about him from Justin Turner, his teammate, when we return. Fullerton bats in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Curtis, Turner, and Davis coming up for the Titans. There's Justin Turner, who's due up second in the inning. Turner and Davis, the shortstop second base combination for Fullerton, have been playing together since the age of 12, so they've been together a while, know each other very well. And Justin Turner talks about playing with Blake Davis over the years.
We played together since we've been 12 years old, so we kind of know each other, how we're feeling. We can read each other's body language when things aren't going exactly how we like it, and try to pick each other up. And it's just nice to be able to look over there and know what he's thinking, know what I'm thinking, and it really makes the game go a lot faster, a lot better. So.
Darnell, I guess the word is chemistry when you play that long with somebody, especially at key defensive spots up the middle in the sport of baseball. It can really be a huge key for a team.
Yeah, it can, because I know I played with Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker in Detroit, and I felt the same way about them. Those two always knew where they were at any given time. The other one knew what the other one was thinking. They didn't do a whole lot off the field together, but on the field they were something special to watch.
We'll see both Turner and Davis at the plate in this inning. John Curtis, the catcher, leads off. .264 average for Curtis. Pitch high from Ryan Bird. 1 ball, 1 strike. Curtis, a criminal justice major, wants to be an FBI agent someday. Second team All Big West this year. Shortens up. Takes the high strike.
Like the pitch because he thought it was up and out. I'm inclined to agree with him. That's a tough pitch under any circumstances.
And he strikes out. The first out of the inning. 4 Ks for Ryan Bird.
That's a frustration swing there. That's a pitch you generally don't swing at either, but because the pitch before that was called, you end up swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone.
Swinging for spite doesn't get you very far, does it?
Not very far at all. Get you a walk back to the duck.
Top of the order, Justin Turner, 0 for 1. Grounded out to second. Bird has found the strike zone now. 20 of his last 23 pitches. Make it 21-24. This into center field. Geyer and the right fielder Crespi, and it's Geyer who makes the catch. 2 outs. But how about Bird? I mean, this guy's just there pounding the zone right now.
He's just rolling along. And you have to. I mean, you can't come in and pitch scared, get behind in the count, and get hurt in a ballpark like this and against a team like this. And you've got to pound the strike zone. He's done a good job of that. And if he continues to do that, he should have success tonight.
Blake Davis, the shortstop. Here he is, 0 for 1. His fly to center. And there's a strike from Bird. You make a great point, Darnell. It would be easy for a pitcher from a small school that hasn't been in the NCAA tournament in 40 years to come in and, as you say, pitch a little scared. Ryan Bird's not doing that. I'm sure he has a healthy respect for the team that he's facing, but fear? No way.
None whatsoever.
He's retired the first 2 here in the 3rd inning. That's sent just foul past first. Blake Davis's buddy Justin Turner has the nickname Red. Blake Davis they call Rat. First team All Big West last year and this year. 2nd consecutive year for that honor. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Bird of St. Louis University. Slice to third, caught by Rodriguez. 7 in a row set down by SLU's Ryan Bird, and after 3, Fullerton and the Billikens are scoreless. No score into the top of the 4th between St. Louis and Cal State Fullerton. And the road to Omaha continues with the baseball super regionals. You can catch all the action at 8 sites on ESPN and ESPN2. The action begins June 9th at 1 p.m. on ESPN. For the official results from every NCAA national championship, go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Mark Neely along with Darnell Coles from Fullerton, California. This game has been dominated so far, Darnell, by pitching.
Yes, it has. Both pitchers have pounded the strike zone with both sides of the plate, getting their breaking balls and changeups over to set up their fastball. And anytime you do that, you keep hitters off balance, and hitters struggle. And those numbers are indicative of that.
Only 1 hit so far in this game. It belongs to Fullerton left fielder Danny Dorn. Top of the order for SLU. Center fielder John Geyer flying to right to begin the game. First pitch breaking ball. It looked like the plate umpire, Mike Gillis, flinched and was going to call it a strike, but did not. Sent foul by Geyer. John Geyer has a superstition.
I hope it's not. That is mascara's running.
Part of it is the eye black. He has to smear it like that.
Wow.
The other part is his socks. They're unwashed. You're not going to see the socks, but he fouled that off his foot.
Well, if the trainer comes out, he does not want him to take that shoe off. Right off the
left shin, it looked like.
Ouch. It's not good. Especially when speed is part of your game.
That is some serious eye black right there.
That takes some talent to rub it on like that.
They have to throw to first to complete the strikeout. For a guy just fouled one off his left shin, he was moving pretty well down the line, but that strikeout is the 5th for Gagne. One down in the St. Louis University 4th. Lauren Gagne, who has a younger brother, Drew, that is committed to play baseball at Fresno State in 2007. If Fullerton were to win this game, we would see Fresno State tomorrow. Foul tip off the bat of Ryan Crespi.
Well, the question would be, is his brother here to watch that game if it transpires into that for tomorrow?
I'm going to bet that he is, because Lauren Gagne is an interesting guy. When he committed to Fullerton, when he was at Santa Cruz High School in 2003, the Titans went to the College World Series. As a high school kid, he drove from Santa Cruz to Omaha without stopping to see Fullerton in the 2003 College World Series. That's after he had committed as a senior. So the Gagne family has a history of commitment.
Yes, they do.
Not sure how he was unable to stop all the way from Santa Cruz to Omaha. I'm assuming there's going to be some gas stops. I'm thinking he just meant that he didn't stop and sleep or get a hotel room somewhere between Santa Cruz and Omaha. That's wanting to see the team badly. The 1-2. Fouled back. Gagne, a 21-year-old communications major. First team All Big West this year. The strikeout of Crespi, 2 away, and that is 6 strikeouts. Who's going to blink first here? So far, no signs offensively really from either team. Bob Hughes, the St. Louis University head coach. Really his hottest hitter. And Johnny Sweeney extends a hitting streak to 18 games with the first slew base hit. A 2-out single in the 4th. An 18-game hitting streak for Johnny Sweeney. Gagne goes 3 2/3 perfect innings before the Sweeney single.
That's really the only pitch that he got up and actually made a mistake on.
Greg Rogers, switch hitting DH, line to right, and he's 0 for 1. Now we get to see Gagne pitch from the stretch for the first time. If this affects his game at all. That's going to get out of play. Into the crowd. John Curtis, Fullerton catcher. There's a souvenir. Left field. Dorn drifting back with room. Hauls it in. Well, the base hit by Sweeney. First slew base hit. Bob Hughes, head coach for St. Louis University. We'll visit with him when we come back to Fullerton. St. Louis University and Cal State Fullerton scoreless into the bottom of the 4th. We're joined by SLU head coach Bob Hughes. Coach, we were talking about your starting pitcher Ryan Bird. We use the term no fear. How do you see, what's your perspective on your hurler so far tonight?
I think you hit it right on the button. You know, he's just an outstanding competitor, and you know, last 2 outings have been carbon copies of what he's doing here tonight.
Coach, Cal State Fullerton starter Lauren Gagne is matching him pitch for pitch. How would you change, or would you change your approaches at home plate?
Well, I think the guys just need to relax in there a little bit. I think we've got some guys trying to do too much, trying to be the hero. You know, we just need to be patient, you know, try to hit the ball where it's pitched and have some success with that. Your biggest thing right now is putting the ball in play.
Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Head coach Bob Hughes of St. Louis University. Look at the comparison between the pitchers. Bird 45 pitches. Look at those 33 strikes, and Gagne right there as well.
You know, those are tremendous numbers on both sides, and the reason Gagne probably has a few more pitches is that he's struck out a few more hitters, and Bird's more apt to let them put the ball in play, whereas Gagne is more of a strikeout pitcher.
Brett Pill leading off, 3, 4, and 5 hitters in the Fullerton 4th inning. Strike on the outside corner. One of the few hitters Bird has fallen behind tonight. He gets back in the count. He walked Pill in the first. It's off the outside edge, 2 balls and a strike. Line to the right, and a leadoff base hit for Brett Pill, the second Fullerton hit of the game. Glad to have you with us from Goodwin Field in Fullerton, California. On the campus of Cal State Fullerton, Mark Neely with Darnell Coles. A pitcher's duel so far here in our second and final game of the night between St. Louis University and Cal State Fullerton, the host team. Ryan Bird has been magnificent on the hill for St. Louis University, but now will work with a man on, the left fielder Danny Dorn. Dorn has the other Fullerton hit, a single in the first. He's up there hacking, strike one. Danny Dorn once had a summer job selling ice cream at nearby Angels games in Anaheim.
The way he swings the bat, he must have jumped in the batting cage a little bit too.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dorn, who plays left field. Greg Horton, the Fullerton head coach, likes to compare Dorn to the Angels' Garrett Anderson. We are not far at all from the home of the Angels. Not a 10-minute drive if traffic's not too bad. A 10-minute drive could turn into an hour at the wrong time of day here, or 2.
Yes, it could.
Runners going. Dorn sends it foul left side.
And that was a hit and run. You could tell by the swing by Danny Dorn. If it was more run and hit, he'd have took that pitch and let Brett Pill try and steal second base, but that was a hit and run.
Dorn now a senior. When he was a freshman back in 2003, he was a freshman All-American. Broke Phil Nevin's Fullerton freshman record for RBIs in a season. Dorn finished with 54 that year. Nevin's record was 52. Nobody out in the Fullerton 4th. No score between St. Louis University and Cal State Fullerton. Bird, a pickoff attempt. Pill with 8 steals this year, but has been caught 9 times. Two balls, 2 strikes, and Danny Dorn. That is up high.
In a situation like this where Danny Dorn does put the ball in play, you got to send the runner.
There he goes, a swing and a drive. Center field, Geyer back to the fence, and it leaves the ballpark. third of the year for Danny Dorn, and Fullerton takes a 2-0 lead. RBIs 31 and 32 for the Fullerton left fielder.
Talk about a big-time swing in a big-time situation. Works the count to 3-2. Finally got a pitch that he could handle and just crushes this ball to right center field. Tremendous swing on his part. Kept his head down, let that ball travel, and just used his leg and drove that ball out of the ballpark in right center field.
Cleared just a little to the right of the hitter's backdrop. Nobody on or out. Into the Dorn, a home run. Right back past Bird and into center. Third consecutive hit for Fullerton. The fact that this is the second time through the order making a difference, Darnell?
A huge difference. Now you've made your adjustments. You sit down, you got somebody in the dugout, especially in this situation, George Horton, that's sitting in the dugout charting every pitch, what he does in certain situations. And you figure out exactly what the game plan is and change it mid-game. You can see they're starting to take better swings.
Right fielder Jared Clark. Struck out swinging in his first at bat. He squares, and it's bunted foul at the plate. Two-run home run for Danny Dorn has put Fullerton on the board. And a 2-0 bottom of the fourth. Clark already shortening up. Bird is not a straight steal threat. He has not even attempted a stolen base this year. Cooper, that is, at first. Clark tries to bunt him over and fouls it. Rick Vanderhook marches at third base for the Titans. The 0-2. The ball outside.
And Rick Vanderhook, the third base coach, has been here for 20 years. He was a pitcher on the 1984 National Championship team. So if there's anybody in this program that's been around, he's known and seen more than enough players to know if they're ready to play in the big leagues.
1985 is his first year here with the program. He's the hitting coach, third base coach, works for the outfielders. He has a nephew that's transferred and is playing for the Titans this year. On the way, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out in the Fullerton fourth. 2-2 to Jared Clark. A swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. Bird's 5th K. Well, he gets Clark on strikes for a second time, and now will face Brandon Tripp, who also was a strikeout victim of Birds in the second. Cooper at first with 1 out. Bird has had to work a lot harder in this inning than the previous 3. The bunt attempt is fouled. Brandon Tripp says his best moment is scoring the tying run in the final game of the 2004 College World Series against Texas. A game that came back with 3 in the 7th and won 3-2 and took the title.
I think what made that one that much sweeter was doing against their former coach Augie Garrido at the University of Texas. And Augie ran a serious program here when he was here. He's one of the most well-respected coaches across this country. But he also left this program in good hands with head coach George Horton, because his players love him. They say he's a player's coach.
That's line to right. Crespi coming in, makes the catch. They're going to try to double the runner up, and Cooper's able to get back. 2 outs. Well, let's take a look back to 2004 championship game. There is Brett Hill. This is a pinch hit triple. Brought in a run. And here's the final out. Titans win it 3-2 and take the 2004 national championship. Their 4th. Also winning in 95, 79, and 84 as well. 95 beat USC in the final game, beat Texas in 84, beating Greg Swindell in that game, and in 79 they beat Arkansas. Cooper back to first. 13 appearances in the College World Series for Cal State Fullerton in the 4 national titles. That's fouled back. 2006 is their 28th NCAA appearance in 32 years of being a Division I school. Last time they missed this NCAA tournament was in 1991. 15 consecutive postseason berths for the Titans. Here comes Ryan Bird's 25th pitch of the inning. And a high fly to center. Geyer, does he see it? Yes, he does. He makes the catch to end the inning. But the Titans finally touch up Bird. Danny Dorn, a home run to center. His 3rd of the year. And at the end of 4, Fullerton 2, St. Louis nothing. The Titans, of course, in the Big West Conference. Probably didn't know there's 35,000 plus students enrolled here at Fullerton. 13 College World Series appearances. Last going in 2004 when they won the NCAA championship. 35,000 plus students here. This school was founded in 1957. Its first classes weren't held until 1959. And we're at Goodwin Field, which was originally called Titan Field. And it was renamed to Goodwin Field in honor of benefactors Jerry and Marilyn Goodwin. Renamed in April of 2000. Ballpark opened in 1992. A 2-run home run for Danny Dorn of the Titans. They lead St. Louis University 2-0. We enter the top of the 5th inning. Billikens have Bill Musselman, the catcher, to lead off. First pitch misses, ball 1. Musselman plated the winning runs in the A-10 championship game against St. Bonaventure with a 3-run homer in the top of the 9th. That was an interesting game. It was scoreless going into the 9th. With the NCAA bid on the line. And St. Louis U scores 7 times in the 9th to win that game and pick up the automatic bid. There's no question, at least in baseball, the move from Conference USA to the Atlantic 10 has benefited St. Louis University and Bob Hughes' baseball program.
And yes, it has, for the simple reason that Conference USA is more to the south, so they get to play year-round. When you get up in the St. Louis area, you have different times of the year where you can't get on a baseball field. So that having been said, it puts him on an even playing field, and he feels a lot more comfortable in that setting.
Let's face it, the more you get to play, the more competitive you can be. And this is a team that was near the bottom of the standings in Conference USA, and in their first year in the Atlantic 10, they won the conference tournament. They're in their first NCAA tournament for the first time in 40 years. 2-2 pitch. He tied up Musselman. Gagne records his 7th strikeout. He's thrown a little like his namesake. It's not spelled the same way. Eric Gagne, who pitches across town for the Dodgers.
That's a fastball running up and in. Swings underneath that. Tough pitch to hit.
One attempt by Marlowe is fouled. Big news around LA, this area, is that Gagne, actually, Eric Gagne that is, warmed up before the game last night at Dodger Stadium. Didn't get in. We're happy to have him back. It's the 0-1 pitch. That's fouled back. That would be the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles. We have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim a little bit closer here.
That is true, but you're always, he's coming off a 2 arm problem, so you're always worried that you come back too soon. So you always want to hope that you don't hurt yourself again. So he needs to take it easy.
That's chopped up the middle, and Marlowe has a base hit. The Billikens' 2nd of the game. Marlowe is on with 1 out, tying run to the plate. There's some fans from St. Louis wearing the blue of St. Louis U. Made the trip from the Gateway to the west, out west. Tim Landy 0 for 1. He's popped out to third. The first pitch strike from Lauren Gagne. Landy, who also was used as a pitcher at one point in his collegiate career, with a shoulder injury, and did that. Over to first, back is Marlowe, who will run. 7 steals, 10 attempts.
The thing about his injury is that he's got like a slightly torn labrum, so it doesn't hurt to throw from the outfield, but it hurt to throw from the pitcher's mound. So he just decided that it would be better to just go to the outfield and do it that way.
Hit and run, chopped to third, fair. MacArthur makes the play. Tremendous play behind the bag to get Landy. Marlowe advances to second. And we talked up top, beginning of the broadcast, about Evan MacArthur, only 5 errors all season. This was not an easy play.
And the best part of this play is not the catch, but he sets his feet and just throws a strike to first base. He's got a tremendous arm, but he made that look easy.
2 outs. Slew hitter B.J. Rodriguez. Line to left in his first time up. Check swing, strike. Rodriguez from Louisiana. In fact, he has his sister Caitlin, that's recently signed with LSU to go there as a pole vaulter. Down low to Rodriguez, 1 ball, 1 strike. BJ says he'd like to work for NASA at some point, building satellites. He's an aerospace engineering major at St. Louis University. The student athlete experience, a very good one at SLU. The tap towards the third base side. MacArthur cuts it off and gets Rodriguez. Base hit by Marlowe. He's stranded. Pelicans lead their second on. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. 2-0 Titans. Hey, George, can you hear us?
Yes.
Makeup person's coming right along. Hang on.
Yeah, no, makeup, please. Can you take about 20 pounds or 40 pounds? Is it true that TV puts 200 pounds on you?
That may be a little high. All right, we're 5 seconds away. Welcome back to Fullerton. Titans leading the Billikens 2-0. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. We're joined by George Horton, head coach for the Titans. Second time through the order for your offense, Coach. A little better success. Some adjustments there. Doran's home run obviously being the big hit.
Well, yeah, Bird's doing a good job. He's keeping us off balance, mixing that fastball up, and I think our guys were a little excited the first time through and in a hurry to swing the bat. It looks like they're getting more in character, and I think you see that with young men in this kind of a thing.
Coach, Laurent Gagne has thrown outstanding so far. I know we talked yesterday about him having that bump in the road. So far, so good.
Yeah, it looks like he's going pretty good. He's got a good little breaking ball going. He's been down in the zone and pitching a fine game so far.
Coach, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Head coach George Horton's 10th season with the Titans. On our game track, this was a scoreless contest to the bottom of the fourth for Danny Dorn's home run. Gagne was 7 strikeouts. Birds fan 5. The 2-0 score in favor of Fullerton. So here come the Titans in the bottom of the fifth inning. John Curtis, the 9-hole hitter, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Up high from Ryan Bird. Only 1 RBIs on the year for Curtis. Into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curtis, the catcher for the Titans, says he likes to model his game after Jason Varitek. That's not a bad example to choose and model yourself after.
No, you ain't kidding, because Jason's motor's running all the time.
Laid off that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thought it was interesting when the Red Sox had some free agents come up after that World Series win. Wasn't any question they were going to re-sign Jason Varitek.
No, none whatsoever.
Line into left field. That's rolling towards the corner. Sweeney able to cut it off. Curtis going to try for 2. Here's the relay, and it's late. 5th double of the year for John Curtis. It begins the Fullerton 5th.
Now batting, second baseman, number 2, Justin Turner.
Leadoff man reaches base for the 2nd consecutive inning for Fullerton.
John Curtis rifles this ball down the left field line. Left fielder John Sweeney does a great job of getting to this ball, but that's a single if he's right-handed. But since he's left-handed, he's got to turn all the way around and make a throw to second base. Shortstop cut that ball off and relayed it there. Otherwise, it would have been a lot closer than it was, but tremendous job of base running by John Curtis.
There's a strike call. You make an interesting point, Darnell, and I'm sure it's something that hitters, when they look at the opposing team's defense, okay, is the left fielder a right or left-handed thrower? Because in a ball in the corner like that, as you said, that meant just that little extra fraction of a second that got Curtis in there.
That's right.
A bunt and a good one. Rodriguez just got him. The sacrifice advances Curtis to third.
This is the perfect bunt, the perfect place to bunt it. He does a good job there. Rodriguez throws a strike there, but if you bunt that ball to first base, it's a lot easier play for the first baseman to throw that ball to third. But you want to force the third baseman to field that ball. And you can see right there, he was easily out.
Davis in the left over the leaping Rodriguez. 3-0 Fullerton. For Blake Davis's 31st RBI of the year.
And just like that, you manufacture a run. You get a 1-out double. Sacrifice him over. Base hit to left field. Just like that, 3-0.
Brett Pill, first baseman, has walked, singled, and scored. Runner going, pitch low, and Musselman can't come up with it. And Musselman's had a great year throwing out base stealers, but that time unable to make a throw, lost it in the exchange. Scooping it up.
And it's also a lot easier to run when you got a 3-run lead. When the score's tied and it's early in the game, you got to kind of pick your moments because you don't want to run yourself out of innings. In a situation like this, Davis gets his 13th stolen base, but the thing about it is that he chose to run early, got a good pitch to run on, and ends up on second base.
2 balls, no strikes. We see Bird falling behind in the count more frequently here. Seems to be pitching more carefully to these hitters. This game was scoreless through the first 3. A 2-run homer from Dorn in the 4th. Blake Davis just adding an RBI single. 3-0 Fullerton in the 5th. 3 balls, no strikes. That's a 4-pitch walk from Ryan Bird, walking Pill for a second time in the game. That's going to bring up Dorn, who broke the scoreless tie in the 4th tonight with his blast to center. Over Geyer. And the batting helmet salute from his teammates.
And the pitching coach is coming out to talk to him. And again, it's just more to settle him down. It's not that he's done a whole lot wrong. In this inning, he's probably starting to get a little tired because now as you start to settle into the game, your adrenaline starts to wear off. And once it starts to wear off, you start to leave pitches up and out over the plate. And he can't afford to do that. I think that Cal State Fullerton hitters have done a good job of adjusting and hitting the ball the other way. They haven't pulled the ball into the defense. Got a base hit to left field and a double to left field, both in this inning down the left field line. So the Cal State hitters are making their adjustments and doing a fine job of it.
Once again, the second batter, Danny Dorn.
Dorn's home run an inning ago was his 3rd of the year. 2 on, 2 outs in the Fullerton 5th. Ball 1 inside. Fresno State outlasted San Diego 9-8 in our first game here tonight of the Fullerton Regional. So the winner of this game meets the Bulldogs in our second game tomorrow. Elimination game is game 1. Strike call on Dorn. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 2 men on base. Davis and Pill. Left field, Sweeney. 2 outs. They get Dorn for a first time tonight. Now the line for Bird was very impressive through the first 3 innings. At that point, he had allowed only 1 hit, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. With the 4th and 5th innings have not been as kind. There it is up to the moment, 85 pitches. He has allowed 3 earned runs, 6 hits in his 4 2/3 innings. Strike 1 on the DH, David Cooper.
You look at that line, and that line is actually pretty good, considering the fact that, you know, he's kept his team in the ball game. He's only down 3 runs.
Foul tip, 0-2.
But on the other side, Laurent Gagne hasn't given up anything. But the 2 hits, you know, so that having been said, he's got to continue to pound the strike zone and not leave balls up out over the plate like Ryan Bird has done the last couple innings.
It stays at 0-2 on David Cooper. Run in here in the Fullerton 5th. Bird trying to limit the damage to the Billikens. The 0-2. Fastball is high and away. It's down the left field line. Sweeney. 1 run in the inning for the Titans on a couple of hits. We played 5. 3-0 Titans. Top of the 6th inning, Fullerton 3, St. Louis 0. As we come up to the Billikens 6th inning, the 9-1-2 hitters. Busy night at the concession stands here at Goodwin Field. Well, the NCAA Baseball Regionals begin on ESPNU tomorrow with 2 games. First at noon Eastern, North Carolina State takes on Texas Arlington, and then at 4 Eastern, Stanford against the Texas Longhorns. It's the NCAA Baseball Regionals here on ESPNU tomorrow. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Nice crowd here at Goodwin Field. As we look at our pitchers line for line, and Gagne 7 strikeouts, which is just 1 shy of equaling a career high of 8, which he has set twice before. Bird's pitch total, Tarnell, has gone up significantly in the last few innings, up to 90.
Yes, it has, and you wonder how much further he can go.
Billikens offense trying to get something going. Ziggy Moore, the shortstop, looks at ball 1. He fanned his first time looking. Bounces it to MacArthur. Makes that routine play for the first out. MacArthur's picked up the last 3 assists defensively on balls put in play. 1 out. Back to the top of the slew order. John Geyer has flied to right and struck out. Gagne gets ahead with strike 1. Laurent Gagne from Santa Cruz, California, first team All Big West. His favorite athlete happens to be Eric Gagne. Imagine that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One out, nobody on in the Billikens 6th. Geyer to the right side. Knocked down. Bill can't pick it up. Turner does, but no play. And Geyer is on, and maybe that's what the Billikens need right now. Pick up the miscue on Pill. And our first error of this Fullerton Regional.
Like head coach Bob Hughes said, just getting base runners is key. Can't score runs if you don't have base runners, so just getting a base runner gives them some confidence that they can build on.
Right fielder Ryan Crespi has struck out twice against Gagne tonight. Geyer 6 steals and 7 attempts on the year. Ball one is outside. Ryan Crespi, who's from New Jersey, says his favorite athlete is David Wright of the Mets. I tell you what, if there's a guy that's kind of flying under the radar for somebody who plays in New York, I'm talking one of the best young players in Major League Baseball right now, David Wright.
Yes, he is. I mean, he's a tremendous third baseman. He's got a lot of power. He's an RBI guy. Had a great year last year. Came in under the wire last year. He won't come in under the radar anymore. Willie Randolph loves him, has moved him into the middle part of that lineup, and he's done a fine job this year. He's driving in runs. He's playing a stellar third base. So that sophomore jinx has not caught a hold of him.
Gagne again throws to first.
We also have a fine third baseman in Ryan Zimmerman, the third baseman for the Washington Nationals. He was not in the minor leagues very long either, and he's come up and done a great job for them. So I think a lot of major league teams are kind of seeing college players that can play at the big league level.
There's a pitch out. They throw back to first, and he just got in. I think he may have been running there. But Gagne, did he speed up his delivery a little bit and caught up on that? And Crespi stopped and goes back. Well, just getting a secondary lead.
That's a good job of him getting back. Because a lot of times you get out there, get your secondary lead, and you kind of freeze and just kind of jog back. So he did a good job of getting back there, because he would have got thrown out had he not.
Time is asked for. The pitch came home. And if you're Gagne, I don't blame you for throwing that pitch, Lauren. It's tough to stop that motion. You can get hurt.
Oh, no. You got to throw that. You don't, and you get hurt. There are a lot of upset people, including his head coach.
George Horton doesn't want to lose Lauren Gagne on something fluky like that right now, and his team's looking to get back to Omaha. 2-0. One on, one out, and the Billikens' sixth. The 2-1 to Ryan Crespi. Now they throw to first. Nothing Fullerton. 2-run home run for Danny Dorn in the fourth. RBI single for Blake Davis in the fifth. Foul back into the top of the screen. Ryan Crespi had 2 hits in their game against SIU, Southern Illinois University, and I mention that only because that is a game, one of 2 that they played per year with a wooden bat. SLU plays SIU in a wooden bat game, and they play the University of Missouri in a wood bat game. They've done that for several years. Don't see many colleges doing that. High foul out of play to the right.
I just know whatever bat company worked that game, they lost a lot of bats, because that's something that it takes years to learn how to hit with a wooden bat, but to do it for 2 games, that's tough.
So an interesting twist to their season couple times a year they swing with the wood. Speaking of the University of Missouri, they're not far from here. They're playing well. Evidently, the third base umpire has called a ball. It's going to allow Geyer to go down to second. I think it was the third base umpire, Scott Irby, who made the initial call.
I didn't see anybody come out and question it.
There's a little bit of movement with the head, but
I'm not seeing a whole lot there.
No, me neither. Slowly past Gagne into the glove of Turner. 2 outs. Geyer goes over to third.
I mean, that's a double play ground ball there, which easily could have got him out of the inning. So the hope is from Cal State Fullerton's standpoint is that he can get out of this inning without giving up a run.
St. Louis U advancing a runner to third for the first time tonight. They have their hottest hitter at the plate, Johnny Sweeney, who with a base hit his last time up extended his hitting streak to 18 games. That hitting. And Sweeney hit by pitch.
And just like that, St. Louis U brings the tying run to the plate. That's why as a pitcher you battle and battle and battle. And you give up 2 runs, okay, 3 runs, you're still in the game. So you've got to give your team a chance. You get, first guy gets on because of an error. This guy gets on because of a hit by a pitch. So now, with one swing of the bat, you're right back in the ball game.
Geyer's at third. Sweeney at first. 2 on, 2 outs in the Billikens 6. This is their best scoring chance so far. DH Greg Rogers standing in. Rip foul. Rogers lined out sharply to right in the second and flying to left in the fourth. Greg Rogers, who's from St. Charles, Missouri, suburb of St. Louis, with the Francis Howell High School. He's the St. Louis Post-Dispatch High School Player of the Year his senior year, leading the Francis Howell Vikings to the state title. Looks at it low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Played a couple of years at St. Charles Community College. This is his first season at SLU.
He also leads the team with home runs with 5, so he is their main power source. Situation like this, he's really looking for a pitch to elevate so he can try and drive it out in the ballpark.
Rogers, the first team all-conference player in the Atlantic 10 this year. He takes the strike. An off-speed pitch, 1-2.
Nasty. He's sitting on a fastball, got 2 fastballs. You miss your first one by fouling it down the line. He runs a fastball away, and then he throws that nasty changeup on the outside corner.
I haven't seen a lot of changes from Gagne tonight, have we?
Well, not a lot, but when he's thrown one, it's been very effective.
Gets him ahead in the count. Back to the fastball, and he gets it by Rogers. Billikens miss their best scoring chance. They didn't have a hit in the inning, but an error and a hit by pitch, and they strand 2, but still trail 3-0. Fullerton fans have liked what they've seen so far, but St. Louis U hanging in there. 3-0 Titans into the bottom of the 6th inning. This being our second and final game of the Fullerton Regional. Warren Gagne has rocked racked up the strikeouts so far tonight. He has equaled a career high. Fanning 8. And there he got Rogers to end a threat in the 6th, top half.
And you've seen every pitch in his arsenal. He's thrown a running fastball, he's thrown a slider, he's thrown a curveball and a change. You see there with those numbers why he's been so effective. Got 8 Ks tonight, a career high, but again, he is battle tested. He loves to pitch in big games. You can see he's a big game pitcher. He's thrown a heck of a game tonight.
A strike to Jared Clark. Fullerton batting bottom of the 6th. They've out hit St. Louis University 6-2. Ball outside. Clark 0 for 2. Having fanned twice. 6, 7, and 8 batters in the Fullerton 6th. Bird misses high, 2 balls and a strike. Ryan Bird threw 3 scoreless innings to begin the game. And the Titans with 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Now Bird here in the 6th to Clark leading off. Bird missing up high again. Showing some fatigue.
Absolutely. This is 94th pitch into the 6th inning.
And a 5-pitch walk to Clark begins the bottom of the 6th.
So I got to believe he's starting to get tired.
Well, coming here from the Fullerton Regional tomorrow, our first game, San Diego will take on the loser of this game, either St. Louis or Fullerton. 4 Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 here on the West Coast, Fresno State will take on the winner of this Fullerton Billikens matchup. Bob Hughes, St. Louis Shoe head coach, out to talk with Ryan Bird.
If you bring the trainer with you, you're wondering if he's okay. He may have an injury or maybe a blister on his finger that he's trying to pitch through.
There's that pitch to Clark.
Oh, right there, it looks like he may have hopped just a little bit. He may have tweaked his ankle or knee just a little bit.
Looks like he wasn't putting much weight on that right foot for a moment after delivering that pitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please for Cal State Fullerton. Running at first base for Jared Clark. Number 4, Clark Huntman.
Nobody out. Bird to take on Brandon Tripp. Clark Hartman running at first. Ball 1 on Tripp. Tripp lined out sharply to right in his last at bat. And he lines that one to right center field, a base hit. Hardman taking the turn. He's going to third, ball kicked around. Crespi makes a throw towards the plate. Will it get there in time? No. 4-0 Fullerton. Tripp lines up at second base. A hit and an error. A single for Crespi and an E9.
This ball is crushed to right center field. Hardman does not stop running at all. Does not break stride. Comes around to score.
Well, Hardman scores. It's a single for Tripp. Error on Crespi. No RBI.
That run is scored on Rick Vanderhook, the third base coach, because he's way up the line. He can see it all happen. That's why you got to have a great third base coach. And right there, he showed just that.
Bunt laid down. That's going to move the runner over. Bird fields his position and throws out McCarthy. 1-3 on the sacrifice. Trip at third with one out.
We've seen Cal State Fullerton twice tonight. Move a runner up from second to third to give yourself a few more options.
George Horton apparently has quite a thirst that needs to be quenched. It's warm here. Got to have fluids. Sometimes several liters of that fluid. 4-0 Fullerton here. Curtis is the batter.
You know, tomorrow I'm going to ask him about that.
Here's Ryan Bird's 100th pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Louis U bringing the infield in. The trip at third, 1 out. 66 strikes, 34 out of the zone from Bird, which isn't a bad ratio, but it was a lot more impressive through the first 3+ innings. 2 balls and a strike. Curtis has doubled and scored and sends that foul out of play to the left. Near the batting cages. Bird's velocity's been down. If you watch the radar gun readings, the bug at the top left portion of your screen. There's a breaking ball at 76 that's fouled, but he was upper 80s early, Darnell, and really has not been anything above 85 the last couple of innings.
You know, which makes it a lot easier for the Cal State hitters to sit on pitches. Or when you've got somebody throwing 88, 89, 90, that's just hard enough to make you not look for a fastball or sit on a different pitch.
2-2, fly ball, center field. He's going to be well deep enough to get the run home. Geyer with the catch. Tripp crosses the plate. 5-0 Fullerton. RBI for Curtis, his 22nd. 2 down in the inning, top of the order.
John Curtis does a good job of just getting a pitch he could elevate. And that's all you have to do in a situation like that. You're not trying to pull the ball into the heart of the defense. You want to stay up the middle the other way. You get something you can elevate, hit a fly ball, easy sac fly.
And that's deep to right center field. Crespi on the run, makes the nice catch up against the fence. Fullerton tacks on 2 more runs. We've now played 6 innings. It's the Titans 5, the Billikens nothing. Fullerton on top to the top of the 7th inning. A 2-run 4th, 1 in the 5th, and now 2 more in the 6th for the Titans. They've opened up the 5-0 lead. This is our final game of the night. Earlier, Fresno State and San Diego. 4th inning. Nick Moresi hits his first of what would be 2 home runs. Frank Lenigro hits one out to right. His 8th of the year. I mean, it's 4-0 at that point, but then San Diego came back with a 5-run 5th. Josh Romanski, a 2-run homer, got him going. Then in the 7th, back came Fresno State. Moresi hits his 2nd of the game, one of 5 home runs for the Bulldogs. And then San Diego, a furious rally in the night. Scored 3 runs. Singleton here with an RBI double. And then this is what ended it. The step to third, pickoff of Harris at first, and Fresno hangs on for a 9-8 win. Each team had 12 hits in that game, and the 5 home runs for Fresno. Moresi hitting 2 of those, knocking in 5.
I mean, you hate to have it end on a first to third, throw to first. A tremendous job by both teams. But Fresno State moves on.
Edmond stays in right field. The strike call. There's Tripp, who's actually moved to right. Hardman in center for the Titans defense. St. Louis shoes, Bill Musselman. Set swing strike 0-2. Musselman 0 for 2 tonight.
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Just off the outside corner. Gagne's 1-2. Evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Make sure you get a photo.
Or 2.
I think that girl just took a photo of herself.
I think she did.
That's foul back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know you're looking good when you've got to take a photo of yourself. I look marvelous. SLU trying to get the offense kick started here. And only 2 hits, singles by Sweeney and Barlow. That's hit pretty well to right center. Tripp is going to get over his head. Bounce up against the fence. Musselman to second. And SLU has a leadoff double in the 7th. 11th 2-base hit of the year for Bill Musselman.
Doesn't try and do too much with it. Pitch before, he took a close breaking ball just out of the strike zone. Give himself a chance to get a fastball up on the outside corner elevated that he drove into the right center field gap. Good piece of hitting on his part.
For the 3rd SLU hit, their first extra base hit of the game. Gilbert Marlowe, the second baseman, has a hit tonight. 1 for 2 with a single to center. Upstairs from Gagne, ball 1. Marlowe from Kirkwood, Missouri, a St. Louis suburb. Strike call. Nobody out in the St. Louis University 7th. Gagne's 1-1. And nips the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. Gilbert Marlowe lists his best baseball moment as his steal of home in the A-10 championship game. Double steal, wasn't a straight steal of home. You don't see many of those these days. But it was a steal of home nonetheless. Right 3 on the inside corner. That's number 9 for Laurent Gagne. That's a new career high for him.
Number 310.
Glad to have you with us at Goodwin Field on the campus of Cal State Fullerton in Fullerton, California. Along with Darnell Coles, I'm Mark Neely. The second and final game here in the first day of the Fullerton Regional. So far, George Horton's team doing it on the mound with Laurent Gagne. 5 runs of support. There's a strike to Tim Landy, the first baseman. The 0-1 pitch. It's going to slice foul down that left field side over by the Fullerton bullpen. John Estes, left-hander up for the Titans. It's jammed. Landy hits a little bloop. The second baseman turnaround to make the catch on. 2 away. Matt Turner giving some defensive sides. B.J. Rodrigo for 2. He's lined to left and grounded to third. Ball 1. Musselman led off the inning with a double. He's at second with 2 outs. Hold foul by Rodriguez. Fullerton is trying to get Gagne through the 7th, Darnell, and let the pen take care of the final 2.
Well, I think so. I think that once you get to the 7th inning, especially as a starter, in a situation like this where he's only given up 3 hits, but he's thrown a lot of pitches.
Right there, 1 and 2.
It's not that you're looking to the future as far as, beyond this game, but what you're saying is that you're not trying to hurt your pitcher. Your bullpen is strong enough. They've been strong all year. That's the way they've done it. Get the starter through 7 and then let the bullpen take over.
The 1-2. Goes around and Rodriguez strikes out. Slew waits to lead off double. And now left 5 on base. It's 7th inning stretch time here in Fullerton. The Titans have a 5-0 lead. We'll go back to Fullerton, 5-0. Fullerton leading St. Louis University as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And the field set. Game's already underway in Oklahoma City for the Women's College World Series, and all of the action can be seen on ESPN and ESPN2. Check your local listings for game times and matchups all this week. And for the official results from every NCAA National Championship, including a complete update of the 2006 Women's College World Series, go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com is the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. New slew pitcher, Etienne Rete Delorme from Canada. Comes on for the Billikens.
And Etienne is generally 75 to 86, even as high as 88, but he pitches comfortable at 86. Generally the first guy up in the pen. You can see he's the first guy into the game. He's a 20th round draft pick by the White Sox in 2000. Guys like to call him Grandpa. I'm not sure why they call him Grandpa. The thing about it is that he loves to come in and shut you down.
So Bird is finished after 6 innings. Bob Hughes used to like what he saw early from Ryan Bird, but after that 2-run home run by Dorn, Fullerton scored 1 more off of him in the 5th and then 2 in the 6th that Error helped out Fullerton in that 6th inning. So now here into the bottom of the 7th as you look at Bird, who's all iced up, finished for the night. 104 pitches for Bird. Struck out 5, walked 3 in his 6 innings of work. Blake Davis leading off. An RBI single in his last at bat. Check swing. He went around on a high one. No balls, 2 strikes. Part of the order here in the Fullerton 7th. Davis, Pill, and Dorn. Past the mound. Second baseman Marlowe able to get to it. Low throw, and it skips past Landy. Even Musselman, though, the catcher, trying to get that ball, couldn't. But what an effort. Davis is going to wind up at second base.
That's why he's your team leader. That's a tremendous try on his part. Wow.
First baseman number 9.
There rushes the throw, throws it into the ground. But watch the effort of the catcher, Bill Musselman. Well, he'll come in the pitcher right there. He just misses getting to that ball. You're talking about the heart and soul of that St. Louis U team. You just saw it.
Dust himself off. Right back behind the plate, hanging the sign for Rete DeLorme. Error charged to Marlowe. 2-base error putting Davis at second with nobody out. Brett Pill, the first baseman, who with his 2 walks and his base hit has not been retired. No outs in the Titans 7th. Low for Rete DeLorme. 2 balls, no strikes. Dave Farron and Estes, both southpaws up for the Titans. That one low, and it's 3-0.
Mark, I think the reason you have 2 lefties up and throwing is if they score a few more runs, one would come in, and if the game stays close, then the other one would come in. I think that you have pitchers that are situational pitchers, and only George Horton knows the answer to that.
Strike call, 3-1.
But he's worked it the same way all year long. He's got guys that are setting their roles, and he doesn't try and deviate from it. And that's why they've been so successful.
All 4, and the first 2 are on in the Fullerton 7th. Mueller and Hewitt up now in the Slew bullpen. Both right-handers.
Left fielder number 27.
Etienne Rete DeLorme, his first inning of work. Has to deal 2 on, nobody out, and the cleanup hitter up.
I think in most situations you bunt, but in this situation is one of those situations you would not. He's already hit a ball out of the ballpark, and I know you're trying to play for adding runs, but when you got a chance to get 3 instead of 2, you take the chance.
That won't get out, but the liner is caught by the diving Crespi. Nice play, 1 out. He hit that ball right on the screws. It had some topspin to it, and it was sinking.
And Crespi's done a good job tonight. He had one ball that he kind of booted around, and they ended up scoring a run last inning. But you've also seen him go to the gap and make an outstanding catch, and right there you saw him come in and make a nice catch again. It just shows you the kind of defensive display that he has. He's a very good player, and sometimes things happen to where you overrun a ball, which I think that ball hit him on the heel of his glove for that error, but he's made 2 stellar plays on defense.
Runners are going. Throw to third. Safe. A double steal. Davis picks up his 13th of the year, and for Pill, his 9th.
Davis had to have seen something with the signs. He gets a great jump. I mean, he actually stole that base off the pitcher. And he stole third rather easily.
Very good throw by Musselman. So the runners are at second and third. Cooper, the hitter, looks at a strike. Left field, Johnny Sweeney. Lead runners tagging. Both runners tagging. We're going to have a play maybe at third. Nobody's covering third. The ball gets by. But the pitcher, Rattay DeLorme, backing up. It's 6-0 now. And the sac fly by Cooper is 30th RBI. And Bob Hughes wants to know, why wasn't somebody at third base?
See, that's a tough situation for the third baseman. You know that there's a fly ball hit medium left field, so he's got to go to get to the cutoff position, which he did. The shortstop's got to stay just in case. He's got to kind of drift over. And then once he does that, I think in a situation like that, the third baseman's got to realize where he's going to throw the ball, get back to the third base bag.
Ball one to Hardman.
And it didn't really hurt anything other than it didn't look very good. But you can rest assured, but once they get to the dugout, head coach Bob Hughes will have to talk with him to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Right off the end of the bat, a little cue ball foul. Hardman came into the game as a pinch runner. Stayed in. And is now playing center field. Stabbed by Musselman. 2 balls and a strike. Etienne Rattay DeLorme on the mound for St. Louis U. Fly ball to right center. Geyer calling for it. Finishes off the Titans' 7th. Fullerton adds a run. And at the end of 7, it's 6-0. Our final game of the night here in the Fullerton Regional heads to the top of the 8th inning. 6-0. The host team leading St. Louis University. The starter, Gagne, is finished. And on to the scene, a left-hander, John Estes.
John's a fastball slider. He's generally 90 to 92. He generally comes in short stints, 1 to 2 innings. Does an outstanding job when he comes in. Got 18 strikeouts and 6 walks, so he doesn't walk a lot of people. Comes right at you.
Gagne's already taken the jersey top off. That's him. He had 10 strikeouts, and he says that's a career high for me. Yes. Didn't walk anybody. And allowed only 3 hits and threw under 100 pitches at 98.
And to strike out 10 in 7 innings is very good. But he just continued to pound the strike zone. He had 72 strikes and 26 balls. And he was very consistent in the strike zone. Threw pitches out when he needed to set up pitches, but you cannot say enough about the effort of him pitching on both sides of the strike zone.
We're getting the performance they did on a Gagne tonight, and if they're able to hang on to the win, that really sets up a meeting with Fresno tomorrow. And then they would have the Big West pitcher of the year, Wes Romer, tomorrow. Right now it's Estes. Behind him in the bullpen, a left-hander Paul and a right-hander Adam Jorgensen. St. Louis U batting in the 8th, down 5-0. Casey Moore batting for his younger brother Ziggy. How about that? Strike call. .261 average for the season. 1-1 pitch from Estes. Sent foul to the right. St. Louis U has had a few chances. They've stranded 5 base runners. Bob Hughes' team unable to get a run across. Moving inside to Casey Moore. Casey Moore missed 7 games early this season due to some minor elbow surgery. He fractured his elbow in his sophomore year last year in 2005 as well. Just missing the outside corner. The home crowd wanted that. It's a full count. So Slew, with the 5 runners left on, have also gone 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position tonight. 3-2 pitch. It's under it and fouls it back. Fullerton scored 2 in the 4th on a Danny Dorn homer, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, actually 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and leads 6-0 top of the 8th. Casey Moore batting for brothers Ziggy. The 3-2 is outside and a leadoff walk. Gagne, who didn't walk anybody through 7, sees the pin come in, and Estes walks the first hitter he faces.
Number 6, John Geyer.
George Horton may have to go back to the gallon jug or whatever he has, and get a little drink of water after that one. Gagne had a perfect game through 3 2/3 tonight for a base hit by Johnny Sweeney in the 4th. Top of the order, John Geyer 0 for 3. He's reached on an error. That last pitch. It's going to come right into your living room. Look out. Nobody out in the Slew 8th. Estes pitches to third. Diving stop. MacArthur to second. Out to first. Safe. Just to get an out anywhere there. Spectacular. And that brings the fans here at Goodwin Field to their feet. Evan MacArthur, watch this again.
You talk about a great play. Look how quick he gets to his feet, throws a strike to Justin Turner, who turns and throws to first base. Like you said, just to get an out in a situation like that is incredible, and they had a chance to turn 2.
Geyer reaches on a fielder's choice. Ryan Crespi, the right fielder, 0 for 3. Gets under it. Fly ball short right. Brandon Tripp almost overran that, but makes the catch. 2 outs.
You see how quickly a defensive play can give you confidence to throw strikes. You see that. You love to let them put the ball in play because your defense is stellar, so they're going to help you. You watched all night Gagne pound the strike zone and get ground ball, strike out, ground ball, strike out, an occasional fly ball. But he let the defense help him, so you just got to continue to do the exact same thing.
Johnny Sweeney has a single. He's been hit by a pitch. He's going to carry his hitting streak into tomorrow's game. Single to center in the 4th, giving him an 18-game hitting streak. No foul to the left. No balls, 2 strikes. Johnny Sweeney, whose younger sister Caroline plays soccer at St. Louis University. Soccer has really been the big sport at SLU. The women made their first NCAA tournament this last fall, but men's soccer really has been the marquee sport at St. Louis University for a lot of years. Now the catcher Curtis goes out to the mat.
That was a quick conversation, so that must have been more on location, where he actually wanted to throw the ball as compared to where the catcher wanted him to throw the ball.
Under the hands of Sweeney.
So after watching that pitch, catcher definitely wanted that ball outside, and he wanted to throw it in. So now he's set up for that breaking ball down and away.
1-2 to Sweeney. Inside again.
Coming back in there again.
By the way, St. Louis U, Bob Hughes has a player on his team, Matt Mack, who also plays on the SLU men's soccer team. SLU men's soccer's missed the tournament the last couple of years, but they have 10 national titles, though the last one back in the mid-70s. Left field line, Dorn going back off his glove. Geyer going to come around third. They're going to try to score it. Dorn also overshot the cutoff man, and SLU is on the board. John Geyer scores, and it's 6-1. Second hit of the night for Sweeney.
Left fielder breaks in on this ball, misplays this ball, and thinks he has a beat on it, and then it just hits off his glove. As you can see there, he wasn't in a hurry to get it. And once he gets it and gets it in, he overthrows everybody. And Geyer continues to run all the way around and scores.
Official score did call it a hit. And it turns into a gracious RBI double for Johnny Sweeney.
Gracious indeed.
Cleanup hitter Greg Rogers is 0 for 3. St. Louis University has scored their first run in an NCAA tournament game for the first time in 40 years. Right field. Trip. It ends the top of the 8th. But St. Louis U gets on the board. They score a run to the bottom of the 8th. It's 6-1 Fullerton. Into the bottom of the 8th inning. The bottom of the order coming up for Fullerton, Matt Mack is the new shortstop. We were mentioning that he plays on the SLU men's soccer team as well just a minute ago. So Mack takes over at short.
Well, if he's on the soccer team, then he's the best conditioned athlete here tonight.
Got to run a lot of that.
You got to run a lot.
Ball one high as we're into the bottom of the 8th inning. Tripp singled and scored his last time up. High pop fly, shallow center field. Geyer coming on. He calls off the middle infielders and makes the catch. One down. Geyer scoring the run on the top of the inning for SLU. Here's Evan MacArthur. 0 for 2 tonight, has a sacrifice. His contribution has been more with the leather, though. He's made some very nice plays with the hot corner. Delorme in his second inning on the mound for St. Louis University. His breaking ball finishes low. 2 balls and a strike. Evan MacArthur says his favorite television show is the original Saved by the Bell. Back into the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's an interesting choice of television shows.
The original.
The original. Anything that's got screech on it is going to have big, big ratings. Even these days. Hit in the air down the right field line. Landy's not going to be able to get there, nor is Crespi. Well, it's past midnight on the East Coast where you're from, Darnell, but it's still Friday, June 2nd here on the West Coast. Your wife and children wanted us to make sure that we passed along a happy birthday to Darnell Coles.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Popped up. B.J. Rodriguez makes the catch. 2 outs. 29 today, right?
I've been 29 for
a while?
A while now. Well, thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Darnell Coles. Gets to spend it away from his family in Florida, but they send along their birthday greetings. As do we. 6-1 Fullerton here in the bottom of the 8th inning. John Curtis, the catcher. Strike on the outside corner. Kind of ironic. I actually spent my birthday in LA a few weeks ago myself.
Did you really?
I did. Covered softball at UCLA. Curtis has a double, an RBI which came on a sac fly, and he has scored once. Fullerton 3 outs away from round 2 matchup against Fresno State. And as I mentioned earlier, Wes Romer, I'm sure we'll see him tomorrow for Fullerton, the Big West pitcher of the year this year. Fresno State got by San Diego earlier tonight, 9-8. That's fouled out of play. There's a baseball down there somewhere.
I still haven't found it. There it is.
I was about to say he's the most unhappy person I've ever seen get a foul ball, but then a smile got on his face and he gave it to the right individual, the youngster behind him. That's a rope to center field, and John Geyer races over to make the catch. Geyer was busy in that inning. All 3 putouts. Last chance for Slew. 6-1 Fullerton to the 9th.
Thank you.
Fullerton 6, St. Louis 1 as we head into the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for Slew here in this first round game. And the third Fullerton hurler is Ryan Paul.
And Ryan comes in. He was Vinny Pestano's setup guy. He'd come in, get a guy, get 2 guys. And Vinny come in and close the games out. But now with Vinny on the shelf, he gets to come in and show what he's got. Fastball, curveball change. He's got very good numbers. Strikeout to walk ratio is outstanding. 26 2/3, only giving up 18 hits. So He's done a good job of putting out the fire when need be. Now he gets a chance to see if he can close.
A Billiken is a mythical good luck figure from the early 1900s, to answer that question on the board. Well, how much of a concern is Pistano being out? And is it almost an opportunity now for somebody, as you mentioned, for example, Ryan Paul, to really establish himself as a closer for Fullerton, however deep they go?
Well, I think so for this year. At some point in time, Vinny's coming back, depending on whether he can rehab it or whether it's something that needs surgery. You never know. He may be able to pitch, not necessarily in this regional, but if they move on to super regionals and beyond, he may be able to pitch. But that having been said, it does open up an opportunity for somebody to step up and close games, because at some point in time, head coach George Horton is going to have to rely on either a bullpen by committee or one guy to come in and shut them down. And this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Musselman, the catcher for St. Louis U, leading off the top of the ninth. Fouled off his foot. For Vinny Pistano, the elbow sprain, and it's technically called a sprain of his right ulnar collateral ligament, occurred on May 10th in a game against USC. And I asked, was it a one-pitch deal? And the answer was yes. But it was one pitch. Felt it. Had to come out. And Pistano has not pitched since. But again, as you mentioned, Darnell, they're not ruling him out completely for the remainder of this year. Taking it cautiously. And we'll just kind of take it really almost day by day and see if he can come back at some point. Musselman golfs it towards third, foul.
But as a player, you know you want to play. You've been here all year for your teammates, and you feel like you're a big part, and you feel like you're letting them down if you're not. So you're trying to do everything you can to stay on the field. But at some point in time, is it going to hurt your career in the long run or hurt the team in the long run by trying to go out there and pitch? So you got to use some common sense when it comes to injuries.
Big breaking ball a little bit high. Vinny Pistano is an interesting guy. He's from nearby Anaheim. He doesn't make it to the big leagues. He said someday he'd like to be a SWAT sniper. And his favorite team is the Kansas City Royals. How does that happen? Wow.
A SWAT
sniper, yeah. So, you know, most closers, yeah, kind of on the edge.
Yeah. Most of those guys close the deal. Wow.
Musselman leading off the St. Louis U ninth inning. Will he lay off? Looks like he did. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Musselman doubled to right his last time up. Ryan Paul's 3-2 pitch. Low ball 4. And a leadoff walk in the SLU ninth.
Which is something that you don't want to see.
Second baseman number 13, Gilbert Marlowe.
Especially when you've got a 5-run lead. The last thing you want to do is start walking people and messing around nowhere near the strike zone. All you got to do is throw strikes, make them put the ball in play. You got what George Horton says is the best double play combination in the country. You know, let them field the ball and turn some double plays and get you out of this thing.
Check swing strike. Gilbert Marlowe 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th. Breaking ball strike. No outs in the top of the ninth. St. Louis U needs at least 5 to keep it going. The 0-2 pitch. Big breaking ball. He gets over. Strike 3 call. Our Fullerton Regional close to ending tonight. Fresno State already in the winner's bracket with a 9-8 win over San Diego earlier. And the Toreros await the loser of this game, which will be our first game tomorrow at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern time. Tim Landy, the first baseman, has popped out twice and grounded out. Ball throws another breaking ball, strike. There he goes. They weren't holding him. A swing and a miss. And with the fielder's indifference, no steal awarded to Musselman.
And a lot of times you're just doing that to stay out of the double play rather than, I'm sure he's not worried about getting a stolen base. I'm sure it'd be nice, but now it just alleviates that double play.
Pulled foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
But I know we talked about it early. It also closes that hole on the first base side with a left-handed hitter up, so you give away one to get the other.
Off the outside corner, 1-2.
And right now, Cal State Fullerton would love to give away a run to get an out. All they're trying to do is get through this thing unscathed to move on to play Fresno State tomorrow in the late game.
Breaking ball sent in the air to right field. Tripp still going to the warning track and hauls it in. Musselman tags. He'll go to third. 2 outs. Landy gave that a pretty good ride to right center field.
Nice running catch by Tripp. Watches that ball all the way into his glove. And a long way to catch that ball. Nice play.
St. Louis U down to their final out. B.J. Rodriguez 0 for 3. Rodriguez lined to left, grounded to third, and struck out. Right call. Fullerton only out hitting SLU 7-4, but they have a 5-run lead with 2 outs in the ninth. 2 balls and a strike. B.J. Rodriguez, who has pitched some in his collegiate career. Last year as a freshman. And now the Billikens down to their last strike. Full count. And that's a crowd of 2,760 here at Goodwin Field tonight. The 3-2 pitch to Rodriguez. And he walked it. second walk of the inning. It's got to be driving George Horton a little batty in there.
I got to believe so. You couldn't tell by his expression. But you know he's burning inside. He's always coaching.
St. Louis U has not had a hit with a runner in scoring position yet tonight. The RBI double by Sweeney in the 8th came with a runner at first. Brought in Geyer all the way from first base. At Mack floats it towards the mound, and it's caught by Ryan Paul to win the game. And Fullerton beats St. Louis University by a final of 6-1. Well, Fullerton got the pitching tonight.
Yes, they did, and they got some timely hitting. They didn't swing the bat as well as you'd think that they'd swing the bats, but they did just enough to get the job done to move on to tomorrow night's game against Fresno State.
Gutsy effort by the Billikens.
Yeah, they did. I think that all in all, they made a good showing. I thought they didn't swing the bat as well as they really wanted to, but all in all, I thought they did a good job.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with more. We'll visit with the winning pitcher, Lauren Gagne, when we return. Fullerton beats St. Louis U by 5.
Where do you want them? Hey, Tim, you have to block this. Hey, bring it over here. It's coming. Send your back soon.